Alright, so I told you I planned on looking at some of your Moira gameplay when she came back into rotation, so I figured I would go ahead and do that now. We played a game on Lijiang Tower that I took note of last night, so I figured I would go through it a little bit. I'm not going to do this whole VOD because, well, first of all, we ended up winning this match, but I figured there were still some things we could go through and we could point out, ooh, that is me, that's not you, about your Moira gameplay. But I don't have to be nearly as pedantic as last time because we've already talked about general things, so we're going to be talking about more specific things, decision making and whatnot, spur of the moment. So let's do it.
Capture the objective.
I'll fill Zack in the morning.
Alright. Basic rollout.
Touch from afar.
Okay, so obviously you wouldn't know this now, because we just rolled out. Maybe we got a glimpse of her at some point anyways. But the fact that they have a diva means that you need to be more careful with your orbs, because that is a very valuable cooldown that I think is 10 seconds. Maybe it's 8? I don't know. 10 seconds, something like that. Okay, yeah, it's a 10-second cooldown that is made entirely valueless by their diva holding right click once. So let's see how much value that orb gets. Let's see, where's their diva? F2, okay. Alright, so yeah, like, oh, it even goes doubly for their group because they have a diva and a Genji, and Genji can reflect your heal orbs, which is even worse. So be careful with your damage orbs. I mean, they can do the same thing to your heal orbs as well, but when they have a diva and a Genji, be very careful with just throwing damage orbs in there, because I know you're trying to get your ult charged, but if the cooldown becomes worthless, then you just don't have it. Okay. So we should be closer with Ryan. We should be pushing with Ryan. I guess you thought someone was behind you? So yeah, you need to be focusing on the Ryan. Unfortunate that I get killed here. So yeah, we just lose this fight. The next fight goes pretty spectacular as well because they have the Pharah, and the Pharah already has their ult. Or will get their ult in this fight and just kill us with it. So back to another rollout. This is fine.
I'm restored.
So, I know you use that fade to try to get that health pack and then catch up with us, but be very careful using your fade when you don't need to use your fade, because then there come times when you need your fade and you don't have it. You could just say, hey, hold on a second. I mean, in your mind, you're probably like, we won't listen anyways, but hold on a second, I need health, or like, Jeremy, I need health, then I can heal you if you don't want to take all the time to get the health pack. But yeah, be very careful with your fade ability. And then here's another damage orb. Let's see if it gets any value. It gets some value. Maybe you saw where their diva was. It gets eaten eventually. And then we get destroyed by the Pharah. We go again.
There was a flaw in my approach.
Be very careful using your fade. Unfortunate, that happens. I mean, just part of playing Ana means you know most of your sleeps are gonna get woken up by your team anyways. Okay, staying behind your Ryan. I like this. Good job. Alright, probably be a little closer to Ryan so that he's within heal range. Okay, so I would say that wasn't the most effective coalescence, but it was still pretty good. It was still a pretty good coalescence. Unfortunately, what happened after you popped it? Okay, yeah, so you use it to survive, which is good. Being alive is your main thing, and to be able to provide heals through the monkey bubble. So I would say that's actually a really good coalescence. That's, like, it didn't get max value, but it got a lot of value, so that's really good. Okay, so yeah, so you use coalescence, you push up in front of your team. Oh yeah, this happened earlier, and it just looks like you're force choking this Mercy, and it's hilarious. So yeah, so you are out of position here, but you realized it, so good job. You realize it, you come back to your team, and that is a really good use of fade. Like, you get back to your team, you're in position to heal them. That's good stuff. I like that. But again, you're meandering a little bit, your team gets away from you, and now we're like, I mean, we would have been purple anyways, but you could have had a little bit of positioning there. You could have been with your Ryan more so. This is bad. Use fade. Use your fade. You had the fade. You had the fade. Oh, I was so sad when I saw this. I see it. It's just like the monkey's in your face. The monkey's in your face all this time. And you have your ability. You have your ability. Use your fade. Get away. Get away. Get away. No. It's so sad. It's so sad. Try not to die with your cooldowns, especially fade. It happens. It does happen. It definitely does happen. But keep in mind, I do not need to take this fight. I don't need to take this fight. That's what my team is for. Oh, did I go away from your perspective? I feel like I did. Okay, yeah.
Game on.
I have found the enemy.
Alright.
Face me.
Heal that Rhine. Nice.
This will
Okay, be
improve your
careful with the
condition.
damage orbs. Another. So the thing with your orb is that divas will eat damage orb like immediately, but especially at lower ranks, it doesn't really seem like they eat healing orbs as much. I don't know why. Maybe because it's not affecting them negatively, although it is because it's healing your team. But they don't seem to eat it as much. Like, they will eat it every so often, but they don't go oh, it's a heal orb, I'm gonna eat it most of the time. And especially if you use it in little niche moments where like you just need a burst of healing and then boom, you shoot out your heal orb. So they have the diva. Be very careful with damage orbs. You still will use damage orbs every so often. You'll see a moment, oh, maybe the diva's demeched, or she's not there, or she's looking the other way. Boom, I have a damage orb. But keep in mind, you need to know when to not use your damage orb. Alright, this is good. We get a blizzard here, which is probably unnecessary, but if we lose that fight, then it's big sad, because then we don't use the blizzard, so it's overall okay. Use a heal orb, use a heal orb. You got 34 HP. You got 34 HP, heal yourself, heal yourself. Also, do not stand still. Keep yourself alive. It's the best thing. It's the best thing for you. Back to it, back to it.
That changes my thinking.
Fade to get there. I know you did that to get there faster, and so it's probably fine. But be careful with that as well. The coalescence is very good.
I'm on fire.
Oh yeah, good point. I'm assuming you faded forward because you knew you were going to coalescence, but I just want to point out, like, because you fade from here to here, and then you have all this room, which you can just be killed. But you pop the coalescence, it works out pretty well. So overall, pretty good, pretty good. Nice, good heal orb. Brent kills me. Big sad. Nice, nice. Keep in mind where your tanks are, because right now your tanks are this way? No, they're not. I don't even know where our tanks are. Oh, I guess they're dead. Okay, so it's just Katie, and she came this way. Okay, so I mean, you probably know what I'm gonna say here. Well, maybe you don't, because I might surprise you. Okay, so like Katie's over here right now. We are resetting. Ryan is coming back from spawn. You come and you poke. Now another heal orb is another damage orb just gone forever. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna say in a sense because you are currently poking and putting yourself in harm's way. However, giving you the benefit of the doubt, you know they don't have snipers. They know they don't have a Kree. You know they don't have any massed burst damage. You know they have a Genji. You know they have a Tracer. They do have Ana, and all of those together can very easily burst you down. But giving you the benefit of the doubt, you knew that you weren't in a ton of danger, so you came to get a little bit of ult charge because you know you wanted coalescence early, as fast as possible for this next fight. But just be very careful. Maybe say, hey, Diva, come up here. But you know.
Your strength ebbs.
So now we're here. This is good positioning. Your Rhine is leaving, so you need to leave. So another damage orb means you can't heal yourself right now. So this is a bad situation. Okay. So you're trying to kill the Ana. You use both of your cooldowns to be out of position, and now your team is suffering because you're not there to heal them. You're not there to heal them. All right, let's go back and look at this from
I will draw
this perspective. The fact that right now, Ryan is here, and you are all the way over here. So, we do have an Ana. So, where was I? I think I died early this fight. Yeah, I died early that fight. Alright, so I get killed by the Genji. And now, you're here, Ryan's here. Easy. You could say that Ryan shouldn't be taking this, and yeah, you'd be correct. But it's easier to go with your Ryan and not be that split apart. Because that just loses us a fight. And it's not, I'm not saying it's your fault. I mean, it's just kind of everyone's fault. Ryan chased a Genji for some reason, way out here with low HP. And then you came over here, used your cooldowns to try to kill their Ana, which you did get the Ana, but by that point we lose the fight. So just be careful with your positioning, and keep in mind the fact that you are the main healer. Your first priority is staying alive, and your second priority is healing your Ryan. Now, we do have two main healers, or we did at that point, so it's a little more nebulous, but that still doesn't want to free you up, or for you to be like, I can just do whatever. I'm gonna take all these flanks. I'm gonna use, especially when you're using your cooldown to get somewhere. You want to use your fade to keep yourself alive and be somewhere, not to get somewhere and then not have fade to keep yourself alive. It happens though.
There was a flaw in my approach.
Okay.
Surrender to my will.
Step Rider.
Okay, so Coalescence, generally, you want to combine with your damage orb, and I know I said be careful with your damage orbs, but your healing orb at that point, I mean, yeah, sure, it provides more healing, but you didn't really need the healing because you have the Coalescence coming in and dealing a bunch of heals, so throw a damage orb, probably, and then put the healing in. This just kind of looks funny, honestly. I don't know. It's fine. Overall, yeah, you had the Coalescence. So obviously, you're gonna use the Coalescence. Oh yeah, there was one more thing that I want to mention. So yeah, we got the Coalescence. Let's go back slightly further. That was a little too far. Blizzard, please update this so that we have 5 seconds. All right, so Coalescence, nice. So this is good. Katie's not in the mech, so you're keeping her alive. But then we hear that it's high noon, and it's Brent over here trying to get a high noon. Now he probably doesn't have a great high noon from this perspective. But if you hear your teammate using an ult, oh wait. If you hear your teammate using for an ult, you want to try to empower him to hit that ult as much as possible. Now in this perspective he has nothing, but he just dies because he's stationary. He probably should have canceled his ult once they just went past the high ground. But if you could have flicked over a Coalescence and healed him a little bit, you would have helped him a little bit. He probably still would have died. But just keep in mind the fact that you want to enable your teammates as much as possible. And then we lose. GG.
We must all make sacrifices in the name of science.
Alright.
Score. Ready for battle.
Alright, so next point, rollout. We're already split up because 2 people went right. But whatever. Lefty goes for a big shift, and that's kind of unfortunate. Nothing you can do here. However, you rush to heal him. Okay, so Lefty goes in for the pin.
You seem in need of aid.
You throw a heal orb after him, he becomes purple. You keep going right. You keep going right when you should be rotating back with your tank, especially because you know he's purple and he's going to be trying to move back to his team as much as possible. You should be doing the same thing because this entire time he's moving back here and you're moving back here, which means you're not behind his shield, which means you can be picked out. And it's a thing where like, because like you can't obviously catch up to him and get back, but you faded here, and then once he started going back, you were going this way, and then you had to course correct, which just means we were all out of position at that point. Honestly, he should be able to see you and be like, "Oh crap, my Moira! I kind of need my Moira," and then move his shield up in front of you. But he was in full retreat mode because he was purple, so it was just kind of a comedy of errors at that point. But it all goes well. we get the heals, just things that we can be doing better in the midst of that. Let's go back.
You seem in need of aid.
Alright, so we fade. Movement out of position, but he's no longer purple. You take some damage. Spray and heals. Okay.
I'm under attack.
So fade to get in. But you get out. But you could have been killed. Keep in mind the damage orb.
Join the
Because I'm pretty... that one I think got a few ticks, but overall just gets eaten.
Bad guys.
Okay. Throw a healer. No, you're dying. Throw a heal orb. Alright, coalescence is fine. Okay, if you plan to coalescence, then yeah, that's okay. Although you could have been killed in the middle of that. Okay. Alright. So your team was kind of critical at that point, but I'm pretty sure you knew you could just win that fight because at that point they were all low, and you knew you could just suck, and then they would die. So that's fine. The only thing with the aggression that I would say is call it so that people are aggressing with you, but you know, we're trained by our team that they won't listen to anyways. I don't know, practice good habits. I'm saying that to myself too because I do the same thing a lot. Alright, that is a good beat. Unfortunate. But we trade, so we take this fight. What did you use Fade on? Did you use Fade after we got hammered? Oh no, you used Fade. Wait, why did you Fade there? I think you just kind of panicked because you had the beat. There was no need to Fade there. So if you're not in danger, keep your Fade. Okay, okay. This is funny. He just comes slicing at you, and you're just like, okay, I'll take the kill. Yep. Okay. Good. Nice. Good orb. Should be slightly out there with your Ryan or calling for your Ryan to come back inside, but it's fine. Nice. Nice. Heal yourself. Heal yourself. Heal yourself, my dude. No, you're at 96 HP. Okay, okay, coalescence heals. Good job. Okay, so overall, much better than the last map. You were in better positions than in the last map. You had better focus than the last map. There were a few times that it was kind of iffy, a little still iffy cooldown usage here and there, but this was like night and day between what happens when you're like in a good position, you win more fights, you're helping your teammates, and you're just being all in all way more useful. I think you had like 3 coalescences that map, maybe 2, I don't know. But you did enough to make it so that your team could prosper. Whereas in the last map, there's a few different decisions that made it so that it was a lot harder for them to get what they had done. I'm probably gonna end it there. I don't think there's really much more value in doing that. But just keep in mind their team comp when you're using your orbs. If they have a D.Va, if they have a Genji, just don't throw damage orbs in there. If you have your ult, you don't even really need to damage orb at all, at least preemptively, to like keep it for a fight to hopefully finish someone off. Because if you're just throwing damage orbs while you already have your ult, you're not getting ult charge, and you're giving them ult charge, and you're not killing anyone. So yeah, keep in mind your cooldowns. Don't use Fade to move faster. Use Fade to keep yourself alive. Now, if you're coming back from spawn, feel free to use Fade, whatever. Even that's kind of a bad habit because you can get killed from that. Like someone will spawn camp you, and it'll feel as bad, man, because you don't have your Fade because you used it getting out. And then, I mean, that has literally happened to me, and it's probably happened to you at some point. But yeah, keep in your mind your cooldowns keep you alive. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot else to say. I didn't even really talk about your spray resources, although I think you were doing pretty good at managing your spray resources. You seem to be, from what I remember, you seem to be using it in mass when you needed to, and not really when you needed to. I was watching one of Oscar's VODs earlier today, and I have a lot to talk about with his Moira. But yours was pretty good for the most part. I'll probably watch another VOD at some point in the future, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, this was 20 minutes, so it was still pretty long. Sweet.